If you wouldn't mind, can you tell me about your CIA career and tell people, I mean, first of all, did you always want to join the CIA?
Yeah, so I was an NCS, which is that was called at the time the National Clandestine Service.
Yes.
The NCS fell under CIA. There's multiple different directorates under CIA.
Is that like Jose Rodriguez?
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. So NCS is sometimes called the DO. I think right now it's called the DO, the Directorate of Operations. Name changes, whatever it is. Either way, we're operations focused, which means we're the group that creates and executes all the field operations controlled by CIA. And CIA is the primary intelligence organization for the United States in prosecuting and collecting foreign intelligence. That's the mission of the CIA. Is to go.
You use the word prosecuting. What do you mean by that?
Like collecting, going out and making it happen.
Because that's what I think more. Like you are trying to gather all the information so that you can make informed diplomatic decisions at the government level.
Correct. So there's two ways of collecting, right? There's a person who goes out and like you pick up like the acorns that have fallen from the trees. You go up and you pick at the fruit. And then there's a person who goes out there and shakes the tree, right? When you go out there and shake the tree to make the apples fall so you can collect them, that's where I think of the word prosecution. Right? You go out there and you take active measures. It's to use an old KGB term, right?
Active measures.
So yeah, I was an NCS field officer or an NCS operations officer that worked in the field to collect intelligence. And
so you were a real spy.
We're all real spies. That's the thing, right? Hollywood makes you think that only the field operative who's undercover, deep undercover, that's the only spy. Spies they come in all shapes and sizes and all varieties, from linguists to logistics people. We even have couriers, right? There's people who live and work undercover who just analyze information, right? They're all spies. They're all living a life where they have to lie, not just to their closest friends and family, but they're actually given government authorization to lie to everybody. They lie to the IRS. IRS doesn't know when you're a CIA officer. IRS thinks that you're whatever you say you are.
What did they think you were?
I can't.
Your cover? You can't say it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
That's one of those areas where we don't ever get to disclose.
Hey, anytime, I'm going to ask the question. So you just tell me today, like, no.
Fair enough. Either that or that's just the best answer that I can make because FBI and CIA will watch this interview. If you didn't already know that.
I kind of assume. I assume that everything I've ever done as someone who creates content is pretty much fair game.
It's fair game. Yeah, exactly.
Including things that aren't public. So
exactly. So one of the things that we're taught to do in that operations world is become, or rather to embrace, because they hire us because we already have it, something known as moral flexibility, ethical flexibility. Right?
What a word.
It's not something that makes people comfortable, and that's totally fine. I was telling you earlier, like when I talk about this stuff and it makes people uncomfortable, they're not my people. Like you can click next. You can stop this YouTube interview. You don't have to listen. I hope they keep following you, but they don't have to listen to me. It's totally fine with me, right?
There's plenty of cynics out there. It's always going to be the case.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
They still listen. They won't admit it. They'll say fuck that guy afterwards, but they're tuned in.
There we go. So once you learn the phrase for what you've always had, which is moral flexibility or ethical flexibility, right? When you're that kind of person, a person like me that grows up always thinking like, well, I could do that bad thing under this context. Or maybe it's not too terrible if I think about this. All those people have dark thoughts and we never feel comfortable admitting our dark thoughts to other people.
Everyone has that.
Everyone has that, but not to the same degree.
Sure. Threshold.
Right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
We call it baseline, right? Some people have a baseline where they think negatively a lot. Negative thoughts about themselves, negative thoughts about the world. That's cool. That's very typical. Not a lot of people have dark thoughts. Dark and negative are not the same thing, right? Negative means, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm ugly. Oh, I should have said this or I should have said that, right? Embarrassment. That's all negative stuff. Dark stuff is like, how would I go about actually killing a person and not getting caught? Right? What would I have done differently if I was the person robbing that bank? Right?
I think when people see these stories, though, those thoughts go through their head like, damn, like, how do you even be a serial killer? Like, I've looked at stories like that, like, I wonder how that would go. And I guess that's a dark thought, but it's human nature. Once you react to something, you want to understand the experience. No?
No, I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I think there's lots of people who just stay away from it, right? Like I bet somebody who's been raised in the church, who's a very hard charging, like, conservative church person, they would feel guilty even thinking about the fact that they have the dark thought, and they might immediately turn to like prayer and self-ridicule. They might go immediately to negative thoughts just by virtue of the fact that they had a dark thought even enter their mind. Then there's the people like you and me who explore the dark thought.
Yeah.
Lean into the dark thought.
Definitely.
Find the few friends that were like, hey, have you ever thought about what you would do? And then we turn it into coffee shop conversation.
Yeah.
Right? That's a different breed of person. So CIA finds you. The whole purpose of their psychological battery is not to find out how intelligent you are. It's how high functioning you are in that dark world of moral and ethical flexibility, and then also layering that with problem solutions.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.